Hello one and all, this is Nerdcraft here bringing you a Team Envy 1v1 here on xel'naga Caverns. Spawning on the upper right hand corner of the xel'naga Caverns are yellow Protoss, envyFlatLine, and his opponent spawning on the lower left hand corner of xel'naga Caverns. I don't know why I kind of tripped up there. Is Fireball here. So Fireball and Flatline are both master level players. They're very good. And Fireball even recognized that if you beat me, you'll be boss. So little Fireball getting a little cocky. We'll see how our Protoss Envy player, Flatline here, has to say about that. Putting down his pylon to get ready his wall off. I don't know why I'm tripping over myself. Every now and then, this is my first cast. This is my first cast for Team Envy. I'm a little nervous, but you know, I'll get those nerves set aside. Chrono boosting out those probes, as well as getting just droning up here for Fireball, so we're not going to see any sort of ridiculous six-pool cheese. And xel'naga Caverns is a very interesting map. It's a medium to small size map, and it's harder for a Zerg to take that 15 hatch or 14 hatch without pool first, because you have such a big area right up here, and especially this back hallway here that Protoss abuse a lot. Would not be surprised to see envyFlatLine. Why am I going to keep calling him Envy? I'm not gonna be surprised to see Flatline put a pylon down over here and abuse that warp in. I've seen a lot of kind of distractionary attacks from here, where you draw out the entire Zerg army, warp in about 4 zealots over here to take out that entire mineral line, put yourself ahead economically. Now, as we see, Fireball here did go for a 15 spawning pool, so he's most likely going to expand right after this. He did get that probe out. Now they're going to see, now Flatline is going to see that full scout here, and even going to ninja himself 5 minerals for that. Not going to matter that horribly much, but interesting enough, the cybernetics core is not going for the wall off, which is very interesting. Fireball recognized this is possibly a mistake. It could be some sort of trap baiting Fireball in. At the same time, we will see how Flatline plays this out. Now that hatchery is just about halfway done here, and if we check out the probe count, 15 to 19 probes to drones, so there is a bit of an economic lead for the Protoss player. And as we see here, pylon going to come down here. It's going to be able to see that Overlord and even warp in stalkers to deny any sort of scouting. Now, very interesting that this wall off has not been made at all. He saw the pool go into expansion, so I'm guessing Flatline is feeling safe with this, and this Zealot chasing around that drone, but drones are fast, unfortunately. The Zealots are just like, in the name of ire, I will catch you, and the drone's just like, LOL. That's what drones do. They're little trolls. Little trolls that fly, apparently. And Stalker there is going to try and take it out. No, the Stalker does not get the drone, so that drone lives to scout another day. And as we see here, we have 2 lings coming up. Both lings, 2 other lings have grabbed the xel'naga towers. Now these lings are just going to be set up here to watch for an expansion, maybe even possibly deny the probe. They see they did scout for that. See, okay, I'm going to get out of here. And an Evo chamber, interesting enough, is going down for Fireball. So a metabolic boost on its way. So I'm guessing that right now Fireball is going to try to take advantage of Flatline's low army count and just try to push as much Zerglings as he can in there. And we'll see how exactly that works. This Zergling right here is going to try to deny out any sort of expansion. This Overlord is getting a full scout, as we can see here. He sees the cybernetics core. He sees there's a gateway. He even sees that probe going down, so he knows that there is some sort of expansion coming up. And we see a little poke here from Flatline. Both of these Zealots are going to be taken out. One was already taken out, but hopefully this can snipe this queen. If Flatline can snipe this queen, it's well worth the loss, because that is a lot of larva pump. Larva pump, what I'm talking about, drone pump. Fortunately, that queen does live to pump larva another day. And a Spore Caller, interesting enough, coming out from Fireball. Don't know if he's suspecting some sort of Stargate or possibly DT harass, but this is very interesting, I'm thinking, from Fireball. Looks like we're going to get your traditional Gateway Forge wall off here. This was a 2-gate expansion, which is a little greedy from Flatline, but after he saw that just sticking with Zerglings after that poke, and seeing that this hatchery was not fully saturated, he's feeling comfortable to, you know, expand and go out with only 2 gateways, because this is telling them that there's going to be more of an economic focus for the Zerg player. As I say that, an attack is coming in, trying to get this around. A lot of Zerglings right there. That is 23 Zerglings. Good force field placement. Actually, yeah, force field placement trapping them. He's going to have to cancel that Nexus there. Or is he going to cancel it? Cancel it. Come on, Flatline. You're going to have to cancel that. And actually, all the Zerglings are cleaned up right before it could. It had about 50 HP left right there. That was amazing. Fireball is even a little frustrated with that. Now we get a cannon wall coming up here for Flatline. I'm guessing that we're going to get into a more turtle type, so he can start building up that ball. As you see, that Nexus barely has any life on it. Very, very interesting force field coming out from Flatline. He's using those force fields in a very effective way to deny any sort of attack from the Zerglings. This one I feel kind of a waste, but it was good trapping them in, and we see level 1 missile attack coming up from our Zerg player. Roach Warren has finished, so we're going to start seeing Roach Pumps here. I won't be surprised to see an infestation pit coming down right after this layer is finished. Just look at the timing on this layer. This layer is about 8.5 minutes into the game, so this is definitely not a standard layer timing. You'd have it more around the 7-minute mark, depending on your strategy as well. And we have a Twilight Council coming up here for Flatline, possibly going to go into Blink Stalker or Charge Blitz. Charge Blitz is always a good, I feel, harass type ability, especially when if you take advantage of this back hallway. Once the Zerg army is caught completely out of position, before you know it, you have like 6 charged zealots coming into the middle line, and they eat drones for breakfast. Despite zealots don't have mouths, they eat drones for breakfast. It's just their favorite meal. Now we're gonna go for. Looks like Flatline is gonna go for a level 1 weapons upgrade, which is interesting because he is actually going for a Dark Shrine right there. So we're going to go into some sort of DT harass, possibly all in. So, or not all in, I wouldn't say all in, but that's where this good Spore Crawler is here. This is effectively going to deny any sort of DT harass. If we see there's Spore Crawlers in each mineral line, so this DTs cannot always be used for harassment, but they can also use as an army bolster. So think of it this way: if you have DTs in your army of Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries, it's essentially a Zealot that has a ridiculous amount of attack and can't be seen. It gets up there, it eats through anything. It just slices and dices. And before you know it, you have Zerg a la King on your plate, and the DT is, and it's no longer the Zealot that's the chef, it is the DT. So that is a really good, since I feel that there's no way there's going to be any sort of economic harass potential except for at the 3rd, but at the same time that can use it as a really good army bolster, which I feel is going to be very effective against this very heavy roach composition that we're going to be seeing from Fireball. As you see, the 3rd Nexus is coming down here, level 2 weapons upgrade, and we're going to possibly see some sort of poke from Flatline. He is just trying to grab, he's trying to deny any sort of map